Okay, guys, I just want to play a little bit from this video from Neutrality Studies because when a woman suffers, being canceled, the truth comes out. In this case, I'll play only a few minutes of this, and you'll see the two things come out. One's that men still suffer the same old gender roles, and two, Me Too is strictly for men, right? It's simply, and women are immune. Now it is, this woman got canceled, this professor, right? And when the women get canceled, the truth comes out.
Really have nothing against exposing unfair behavior or legal violations in the Federal Republic. Nevertheless, this forced hunt for plagiarism seems to me to be a peculiarity of recent times, serving exactly this purpose. Namely, that basically self-appointed individuals are almost doing commissioned work to find arguments to push certain people out of the public sphere.
Yeah, that's right. So nasty individuals, they see an opportunity to harm other people, so they take it. And it's usually women attacking men, but now this woman's getting zapped.
Think that society, really society, including the university, should discuss both questions. Namely, the first question, what do we do with these plagiarism hunters? How does society deal with it? Because one point is still important. You said it, the moment the allegations are made, the lives of those affected are over. And
Exactly. Well, not over for her, right? Because she's a woman. But of course, like I said, plagiarism, right? They're hunters. It's this, it's hunters for men, but women can never be, it can't be used on women. So they use plagiarism, right?
whether the plagiarism allegations are refuted 2 years later or not, the denial is of no interest. And that is also my problem, because the damage has already been done.
Exactly. So this woman is suffering what men have been suffering for years now. And now it's an issue. And now the truth is coming out.
I have been removed from the university for a year, and not just from the university, but actually also from public life.
Einem Jahr von der Uni entfernt worden und nicht nur von der Uni, sondern eigentlich auch aus dem öffentlich-rechtlichen Leben.
Without payment, without wage.
Ohne Bezahlung, genau. Also ich habe von Februar auf März letztes Jahr einfach.
Without payment, exactly. So I just didn't receive any salary from February to March last year. Imagine the personal shock of having your mortgage for the apartment, 2 children, and so on. And from February 16 to March 1, no salary comes in. Just nothing anymore. So if you're 57 years old and don't have a partner, you have to process that first. Most people always imagine that there's a husband who still earns money, or probably most people think that if you're in the media, you have a lot of money, or
You still have a husband who's still working. Why would they assume that? In this world of strong, independent women, right? Because it's still happening. These women who attack men, and I wouldn't place this woman any better than the next one. They attack men and gaslight them, but they marry them and use them, right? So she's basically saying she took the route of not getting married, or maybe she married and divorced the guy. He's not around anymore. And all of a sudden she has no safety net. All right. Well, she does have a safety net. She can go on welfare or whatever. She's a woman. She's not going to be homeless. What it is, her lifestyle will be downgraded, which is homeless to her.
people imagine that everyone has inherited something anyway. No, I live on my income. And to have no income from one day to the next is indeed a very existential crisis. So,
Welcome to the world of men, lady. Kind of. Like I say, kind of. You'll never be homeless.
what these plagiarism hunters do, I want to address that again. They actually destroy livelihoods. And whether you are proven right afterwards or not, and whether these accusations are subsequently refuted, is actually secondary for the person affected.
Well, this has been going on to men for years now. Probably almost a decade. So why do I give a shit that it's happening to you, lady?
And to think about this in an open society, I consider important. I believe that's why the book also has the subtitle.
You consider it important now that it's happening to you.
attempts at a public execution, because the immediate attempt is apparently to destroy someone first.
Offenbar jemanden erstmal zu vernichten.
So, the task that we as intellectuals and as academics have is also to analyze what is currently happening in our societies, because that is exactly what is so difficult. The beautiful thing, I am actually a historian, so I have written a historical dissertation.
Dude, you believe feminism is good. So you support everything that's going on here.
The beautiful thing about history is that you can look back calmly and with all serenity see what has happened, because the emotions are no longer boiling. In the here and now, everything is boiling. And then you have to try to break it down again. And at the moment, we are seeing a societal reversal of accusation and verdict taking place. This is not only in the academic context, in the academic, of course, as well. So your case is part of a whole litany of international cases.
Yeah, dude, it's not just academic. This is happening to men, period. It doesn't matter if the man is in the academic field or not. Just get the man.
In eine ganze Litanei an internationalen Fällen. Also Frau Claudine Gay heißt sie ja in den USA. Sie war,
Genau.
Claudine Gay, as she is known in the USA, was the president of Harvard. And she had to leave because in the end, there were allegations of plagiarism after she had positioned herself positively towards the freedom of speech of her students on Palestine, and then she was quickly out of the picture. And we see this in other areas too. So the very large and very famous YouTuber Russell Brand was not confronted with plagiarism allegations, but rather he was accused of sexual harassment, and his
Exactly. He's a man. And so that's how they get us. Doesn't work for these women, does it?
6 million channel on YouTube was then immediately demonetized in the United Kingdom on the grounds that yes, if there are allegations, he shouldn't be able to earn anything at all. That's it, even though there was no charge yet. So, here people are really being destroyed by social mechanisms who also expose themselves in public. Therefore, my question is, how should we as academics deal with the fact that we are actually supposed to express ourselves?
Here's the difference, though, right? For this woman to get canceled, she had to go against the current narrative that the powers that be pushed. For Russell Brand to be canceled, he just had to have an individual woman not like his face, get together with other women, get the story straight, tell a lie. See, the motivation is completely different between the sexes, right? This woman cannot compare to men. A man, if he wants protection, could actually shut his mouth about his political views. No man can protect himself from a former girlfriend.
Publicly, because that is also our mission, and because we also want to take it on if we then, like him now, face financial and personal ruin. How do you deal with this situation?
Und persönlicher Ruin droht. Also wie gehen Sie damit mit dieser Lage?
Also erstmal, auf die Vorwürfe.
So first of all, to address the allegations of sexual abuse, one of the almost funniest Twitter tweets when my resignation was announced was, "If Ms. Garrow had been a man, she would have been accused of Me Too. If not Me Too, she would have been accused of sexual abuse." I found
She finds that funny.
this funny because it clearly shows, when nothing else comes to mind, plagiarism has to serve as the last bogeyman, which of course is only an accusation in the intellectual or academic sphere.
In other words, people have very little ammunition to use against women, right? These women, if they commit any sex act, that sex act is considered good. It's that simple. So the only way these women get attacked, again, is if they step out of line of the narrative, right? But they never have to worry about an ex-boyfriend deciding to just tell a lie about her. And she doesn't have to worry about a group of guys getting together and telling lies, right? There's no comparison. I feel no sympathy for this woman whatsoever. And this guy especially, because again, he supports feminism. right? He supports women's rights, which is actually an attack on men. So he wants to solve the problem, but be a part of it as well. Sorry, I have nothing but contempt for you two. Arrivederci.